Welcome to the Silent Hill Ascension What If Show. I am Noah and I'm here with our captain. He's looking real cool this evening, Eduardo. Welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back here. Can you please take us through the run of show and production? We'll put that up on screen for us.
Yeah, absolutely, Noah. It's my pleasure to be back, right in shape, obviously. Deciding to go back in time as well. But run a show for tonight. We're going to watch together the premiere of the bonus scenes, as we do every Monday at 5:40 p.m. Pacific. We're going to do Norway first, always over there in, you know what, this time of year, sunny Norway. And then we're going to move over to Pennsylvania. You know, that's one of the nice parts about What If. We get to really do one and then the other.
Exactly. We get to experience everything everywhere all at once. I'm sorry, but we do. Because What If is similar to what most of you remember as DVD extras. We are going to unlock bonus scenes. Since we made a ton of extra content, you deserve to see it. The choices for the week will be made available for the full week, and once this goes, playlists of the winning extra scenes will be made available. Okay, so it's tree time. Thank you! The trunk of the content tree represents the sum of the decisions for the canon run of Silent Hill Ascension. During What If, we are visiting branches as we work our way gently up the trunk. We will look at key scenes that will air for Norway. So, production, can you please show the graphic for that? Thank you so much, Eduardo. Please do that thing you do so well.
All right. So the body where Astrid faces the torment of her dead mother in the lab. And then a second chance. This is where Carl tells Mette what he has decided to do with Ingrid's ring, kind of like, kind of a setup scene for a lot of what happened later in the show, these scenes, especially that relationship between Astrid and Ingrid. As we know later in the show, absolutely a relationship that much more, I was personally shocked with, the revelation of that relationship between Astrid, Ingrid, and Eva. But at that time, we didn't know. And honestly, the body was one of my favorite scenes from the original canon run, Noah.
Right, I know, and I know you're a bit. The audience set you on the trajectory of suffering tonight because you're losing the scene that you love so much, and you have to compromise this time. Because unlike Jacob, some of us loved the canon run choices. There is quite a difference, and we're all gonna see it in a little bit. You will be able to tell because the dynamic between Ingrid and Astrid really changed. Like on one hand, on this What If season, we're seeing a more proactive kind of aggro Astrid or Sastrid. Somebody said in the chat, multiple of you said in the chat last week, which I loved. So Sastrid it is, better than Astrid, I agree. But in that scene, it plays differently. She loses some of the sass in the face of her mother.
Yeah, but yeah, I part of what I liked about preparing for this show is rewatching that original scene. And there's a reason it's my favorite. Like, it's Astrid like going like, I have enough. Like, right. I'm just done with you. I just don't want to deal with you. And I just loved it. Like, it's just perfect.
Right. So the original, she's giving Astrid. So now we will look at the decisions made for Norway. So production, can you please put that up on screen? Thank you so much. Mwah. Eduardo, can you read it? Sorry.
Absolutely. No, it's my pleasure. So this is how will Astrid react to her dead mother talking to her. The canon run, right? We had demand an apology, suffering, but in What If we have asked for forgiveness, redemption. We'll dive maybe into that in a little bit. But first, what will Carl do with Ingrid's ring? Again, give it to Mette was the original canon run, right? The redemption option. We saw them as lovers. But in What If we have give it to Astrid, the suffering option. And no, like the thing is, Noah, I'm never gonna like whatever What If parallel scene is for the body. But it highlights to me what a great choice you, the audience, made in the canon run. So I'm a big fan of that. But I think Carl's scene is actually like really interesting. Let's dive into that in a bit. Because that's the scene where like kind of the lovers dynamic starts going on.
Okay, and that's why I
know. The scandal, that's where it originally comes from. But it's also where Carl tries to be a good father. And I think the audience, you're in for a treat tonight, because one thing I like about Carl compared to the other characters is that a lot of the choices that like kind of lead Carl down suffering and damnation are not inherently awful choices. The other characters, like we'll look at Pennsylvania, like Rachel becomes a monster, like straight up horrifying person. But like when you compare it to someone like Carl is like, he's just a man who made the wrong decision. And that's a big difference.
Yeah, the wrong decision, meaning originally marrying Ingrid, then letting her abuse his children to the point of the children abusing other people, and then potentially murdering her. So, quite a few bad decisions racked up here for our man Carl, but he is just, he's just innocent. It's like the Jinx. He just has bad luck,
No, for sure. And by the way, I'm getting a hot off the presses thing. If you could check it in my glasses here, I'm just checking something quickly because the scenes are going to probably come up soon. But it turns out that actually the audience chose Stabber. So, audience, we're going to show the Ask for Forgiveness scene tonight as the premiere, but the playlist afterwards will have the Stabber option. So you get to see literally all three of the options. This is really hot off the presses. Want to make sure that's clear that Stabber is what you chose. Tonight you're going to see Ask for Forgiveness with us, but you will get to see the Stabber option. So, our team is diligent on this stuff. We do want to make sure. It's just because we saw that and we want to make sure you get the scenes you asked for. So as a result, you get a bonus scene.
Yay, more scenes! So you get to see Gaslit Gastrid, rather than Astrid or Sastrid. So anyway, production, can you please show us the scene and we'll be back with you afterwards.
Yeah!
I'm sorry, Mama. Please forgive me.
There, Astrid, my dear girl. Come and give us a hug.
I'm so sorry, Mama.
Carl, aren't you cold? There's always a chill in this house. What's wrong?
Just got off the phone with Haugen. They're releasing Ingrid's body. She's coming home.
We'll take care of the funeral. You don't have to worry about a thing.
I know what I'm going to do with this. I should give it to Astrid. I know she doesn't want it, but it's what Ingrid wanted. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I know how much you wanted it.
I still think about you, about what could have been.
Me too.
Maybe if we'd be given a second chance.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm giving homage, of course, to Ingrid here with my strange sounds that are coming out of sheer impassioned emotions. So let's roll the body actually the bonus scene of the body in the background as we go over it, and I see the audience is shouting out our amazing voice actors in Norway. Also in Pennsylvania we had amazing voice actors, but yeah, Mette gives me the creeps. She's delivering it. Astrid, they're all amazing.
Yeah, like for me, Ingrid is like a magnificent villain. Like, in Pennsylvania, they're all kind of bad in different ways. Whereas Ingrid is like the true villain of like Silent Hill Ascension. Like, I love to hate Ingrid. Like, absolutely my favorite character to despise. Like, who doesn't despise it? Like, I think it's a great job. I despise the character just because I think the voice actors does a terrific job. And like, I really like that. It's a character you can root against. You don't want Ingrid to succeed. No one wants this.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's also like Ingrid is a purely like evil being. Like, I'm sure she had some trauma in her past, because of course, as you know, it's trauma. But it's been long gone since that happened, and now she's just become a callous, horrible human being or corpse, depending on the moment.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's impressive how a character that died at the very start managed to terrify us so much. Like, which I think is fantastic, by the way. Like, you leave a lingering legacy when people are still terrified you after death.
It's true, but we gotta talk, Eduardo. You can't just put it aside. But the scandal, nothing can stop the scandal. The train is running, even with or without a ring. There's gonna be some smooching.
Yeah, you thought like the ring was why Mette got in. Nah, she was in. No matter what, she's like, yeah, whatever, I'm in. Like, you don't need to put a ring on that finger. Like, Mette is in that action. She knows what she's been missing out on. Time has been a wasting. No need to wait. Just go for it. I like it. I like it. Just good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you can slice that tension with a scalpel, really.
Yeah, no, and the funny part for me about all of it is, right, like, Carl goes like, yeah, I'll give it to Astrid. I know she didn't like want this thing, but I'll give it to her anyways. And you can tell bad fodder there, but like, it's not like a horrible thing. It's just he's not aware of like the damage he's causing.
Yeah, well, that's something that characterizes Carl. He's kind of not aware, and I think you really use the correct term for him. What he is aware of is the undeniable tension between him and Mette, later known as Mette, when she is roasted. But it is almost time for us to go to the other side of the world, to go to Pennsylvania. So we will look at the key scenes that aired for Pennsylvania production. Thank you so much. Yay, you're the best. Eduardo reads much better than me, so go ahead, please.
Absolutely. I'm loving this. So in Pennsylvania, we get to see our fan favorite Toby's induction. And really, Toby's starting to die. Xavier inducts Toby into the Foundation, giving him the opportunity to make his choice of mentor. And then we have Swear-to-It, Eric and Rachel share a moment at home, but Rachel must try to put an end to Eric and Toby's friendship. And by the way, it's not actually in the what if scenes, but I got to rewatch kind of like week 4's content, and one of the things to me is Barbara was weaving that. She's like, yeah, that relationship between Toby and Eric needs to end. Barbara was in there from the start. You get like the little inklings, right? Like, Aurora, Barbara, they were like kind of like the spider web, right? They were like trying to distort things in a certain way.
Yeah, they were agents of chaos, that's for sure. Those sisters of mayhem, twisted sisters they are, Aurora and Barbara. And you can really, now that we know, I did also notice that there has been a hand leading on Rachel. But by the way, speaking of voice actors, to me, one of the biggest shocks was Rachel's voice actor, Wilma. She's such a lovely human being. And I could really Rachel is, she's Rachel. I wouldn't say she's a lovely human being. I would say maybe she's good at fraud, good at strong-arming people, But it was quite a shock to me to see such a lovely voice actress behind it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you thought in the canon run, Rachel was, let's put it this way: a compromised character. There is no love lost, really, in a lot of these what ifs. Like,
No.
down that suffering and damnation path, you are not going to like you are not going to like Rachel. But I mean, in a way, though, it's a very different take. Like, we're gonna, actually, no, decisions, right?
Yeah, decisions. So we will look at the decisions we've made for Pennsylvania. So production, can you please? Thank you. And Eduardo, with your nifty glasses, please read them.
Yeah, I mean, the audience can read them through the glasses, right? I don't need to do any work.
It's true. You can just chill, man.
I'll do it for the pleasure of the audience. So, who will Toby choose as his foundation mentor? Canon run was Rachel for the redemption option. Here we're going to see Krista instead on suffering. And then we have how will Rachel get Eric to end his friendship with Toby? And the canon run was asked for his trust, but we're going to see a very different take with what, and what if, which threatened to leave him. And like the scenes will air. I'll let, you, the audience, can think what you want about these for sure, but they're going to be a little bit of a different take. The thing to watch out for, I think, especially in that first scene, is there is actually a treat for you, audience, which I won't spoil. That I will leave for you to enjoy. But notice if you have been paying very close attention to the original scene, try to spot if you can notice the difference at like the end of that scene. There's actually something that changes at the end, which isn't quite obvious, which I thought was interesting. But that scene, by the way, where we're going to see Rachel and Eric, very different dynamic.
Yeah, it's instead of just being passive aggressive, she's going for aggressive. And I do like that she's not beating around the bush, because I would rather my enemies just say to my face, it's more like the passive aggressive. I don't know, it's not for me, But I'm excited for everybody to see, because there is that like special little surprise there. And Rachel is really handing him his ass. She's not Astrid, but she's I don't have anything. Audience, if you have anything for Rachel handing people ass, please sound off in the chat. I see Drew hates Rachel so much it makes his teeth or their teeth itch. That's terrible. I'm sorry. I hope you have some anti-itch teeth cream, I suppose.
You'll probably need it, given how much you're probably not going to like Rachel that much more, given some of these things. So viewers' discretion is advised.
Exactly. So watch out for your teeth while production shows us the Pennsylvania scene. See you afterwards.
Our guest of honor. Come, join us, Toby. In the past, we had needle bearers for this ceremony. It should be a reminder of how often we must carry these burdens on our own, and how some of us can lack faith. The needle. Toby Sorelli wishes to join us and become part of the Foundation.
We are the Foundation.
None can bear the blight without a firm foundation.
We are pure.
If one should falter, the rest shall carry its weight.
We are strong.
Though others walk in darkness, we bring light.
We are truth.
Toby Sorelli, blighted acolyte, who have you chosen to act as your guide?
Krista Kallstad.
Toby has named you as his mentor. It is your duty to guide his travels down the path laid out for us by Paul Radcliffe. Is there any reason that might hinder this request?
Not at all.
Then all that remains is to sign your name into the Foundation Manifest. Prick your finger and add yourself among our number. Toby Sorelli, Welcome to the Foundation.
I'm glad you're here. Finally got Faith down. She made me read 3 Foundation fairy tales to her. She reminds me so much of you. Rach.
I need to talk to you about Toby.
What did he do now?
I don't think you should see him anymore.
You're serious? I don't understand. He was just inducted. Rach, Toby was the first friend I made when I moved to this country.
And I'm your wife. You can keep Toby in your life, but it won't be with me.
Are you serious right now? Rach, where is this?
Eric?
Okay, fine. I won't talk to him anymore.
Good. Swear it.
What?
I want you to swear it, that you won't reach out to Toby.
Swear on what?
I need you to swear it on something important.
Promising isn't enough?
No.
Fine. Tell me and I'll do it.
Swear on the life of our daughter.
Rachel. Okay. I swear.
Daddy?
I'm coming, honey.
Welcome back, lovely audience. We hope you enjoyed that as much as we did, and we sure did. Because it brings me back to times where I was script coordinating. I'm going to tell you more about it as production puts the showcase video in the background. It's Swear to It. That's the scene where Eric and Rachel share a moment at home, but Rachel must try to put an end to Eric and Toby's friendship. Now, in this scene, one of the things that always gets me is that Eric is like, Faith kept wanting to read Foundation stories. She reminds me of you so much. Like, that's creepy as hell, this child. And then later they're surprised with what's going on with them. And Atai, yes, we're going to talk about this. So when I was a script coordinator also in the beginning, and I remember one day there was some kind of emergency. The name is incorrect. The priestess name is incorrect. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people involved in this production, and it ain't so easy to make last minute changes, as we all know and experience, even right here on the What If show. There's a lot of moving parts. So I remember the emergency of having to fix it to Krista Lee instead of. And I would love to hear some fan theories on why there are 2 names. What are the meaning of these different names? I do not know. All I know is that I was schwitzing and panicking and trying to fix it.
Look, Noah, audience, you're here because you want to hang out with us. You want to hang out with everybody else in the community. And honestly, you get bonus scenes and Easter eggs and development stories. So that's just one. I knew the audience would enjoy, because let's be honest, I heard the name, was like, I don't remember this being Krista's last name. But I think you, the audience, would enjoy it, honestly. And we've had different theories. Our lovely, my boss was like, oh, it's maybe her maiden name. You don't know. You don't know what Priscilla is. But anyways, it's important to kind of have your theories and let you kind of try to guess why the last name was. Try to capture it again. You'll have to watch those scenes again. See, this is how we get you. We know that you're going to watch this scene again and try to capture it. So see, this is how we get you on the hook. But no, what I did like also about that scene, and I don't know if some of you spotted it or not. I know with the last name stuff, that was going to distract you. But Eric's stance towards Toby is very different, in the original scene where kind of Rachel's the mentor, Eric's like, don't think that squares us out. And in this one, he's like, yo, bro, I'm happy you're joining the Foundation. And it really comes down to, that, and that I think is a really nice change of pace, really.
Right. Eric is being a real dumbass. I love it. He's so innocent. He's like, yay, Foundation, woo! Nothing bad's gonna happen. I know it. I feel
don't
it.
tune
I
in
feel
next
it.
week if you believe nothing bad's gonna happen. Well, don't tune in next week. You don't want to miss next week because, like, Toby's gonna have a little bit of a something. Let's no spoilers.
With our catty girl. So like Krista, you know how she's catty and all. Similar to a cat, she's also had 9 lives, and in those 9 lives, she's had many names. So stay tuned because she's gonna be part of the story moving forward, as we all know. And I'm just gonna put this right here because it's gonna get hot and heavy potentially. So we are almost at the end of the show. Eduardo, can you please recap for us?
Sure. So we got to see a lot. So in Norway, we got to see a lesser version of my favorite scene, the body, but you get to see all 3 because we actually aired a bonus scene tonight live in our premiere, but like you'll get to see in the What If kind of playlist the scene that you chose, which is Stabber. So you get to see all 3 sides of the coin, so to speak, because it's well known that coins have 3 sides. Anyways, so then we got to see again Carl and Mette, hot and heavy. It's like before. I mean, why would we give you less hot and heavy? But very different parenting style from Carl, not listening to his child. That leads to not the greatest paths, right? So whereas in Pennsylvania, you got to hear essentially the international woman of mystery, Krista, maiden name, secret name, agent name, whatever you want to guess what it was, but also like a different take. Eric basically being a very different scenario, right? Like both being like, yo, bro, I'm happy you joined the foundation with Toby, but then getting completely destroyed in his relationship. Very, like, it goes from kind of like there's a warm side to it to like just purely abusive. Let's just call it what it is. Like Rachel being purely abusive in that scene towards Eric. Now, production's going to put up information on the next What If show. We're going to see you there. As we told you at the start, we see those bonus scenes together. That's the guarantee. You will see bonus scenes. And then next Monday, that'll be at 5:40 p.m. Pacific time. As usual, all the What If scenes are available in our episode section tonight. You definitely want to see it, right? Get to see the Stabber version for Sastrid, as well as like kind of trying to catch again that Krista's last name. Puzzles are available for influence points if you want to like participate in those What If decisions. And again, every Monday, 5:40 p.m. Pacific.
Thank you so much, Eduardo. That was smooth, almost as smooth as your look tonight, man. You are funky. You got the funk within you. So that's pretty much it, audience. It was such a great time as always. You are keeping us alive. As I told you, my mental health is riding on you guys. Girls, ghouls, everything in between. No pressure, but I do hope I will see all of you here next Monday, 5:40 p.m. Pacific time. And meanwhile, please have a good week with all your secret names, secret affairs, and fun foundation adventures. Love you, audience. See you next week.